Welcome, everyone, back to the seventh. Can you believe it's seventh
Wow,
episode
7.
of Three
Numero
Men and a
seven.
Breakdown? We are the three men, and the aforementioned breakdown is something that we have all done, and all things that we love as well. This is an episode you guys have. We had a couple of great guests on the
Yeah.
last couple of episodes, 5 and 6. We had Dave from Indigo and X Catch Your Breath on, and we also had Craig
Fuego
Prater
Dave.
from No Home, whose album
Yeah,
just
shout out
came out.
Craig.
By the time this airs, it will have been out for a while. But hey, that album sounded solid, man. I listened to
Yeah?
listened to
Okay.
a couple of tracks, and it
Checking
was
it out this week.
I think Dave would say Fuego. So
Fuego.
Someone
couple
send
of
it to me.
this will be my last episode recorded in my
Wow.
beautiful humble
In your
abode.
beautiful apartment. Wow.
Time
got
to
a
move,
house.
man.
I got a house and a couple of minutes north of where my current location is, and next time you guys see me, I have no idea how I'm gonna. It's not gonna be as pretty as this. It'll be a lot smaller of a room, but I will try to keep the mood and the vibes and the sex at an all-time high. So,
All right, man.
I don't know if we needed to know
So-
that last part, to be honest.
well, you guys are. It's so my. I think we talked about this on the last episode, but so my girlfriend got me a vinyl player.
Yeah.
But I recently have to just show this off. I got
I
this in the
know.
lab.
Congrats.
Dude, it's so
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. Let's go.
Dude, I didn't know that I got it for a steal, $26 on eBay.
Yeah.
Didn't know what I was getting because Brandon, you said you got the same lilac. For those of you that are listening, I just held up the Tesseract Altered State
Yeah.
vinyl.
You should have just
the
you should have
real-
just
when we do
never said
that.
anything. You should have said
I know, we're
nothing.
like,
It would have
hey.
been great.
Yeah.
Hey, look
Yeah.
at this thing you
Oh.
can't see because it's only audio.
Yeah, for those of you that it was the re-release 2020 version of
Yeah.
Altered State.
Let's go.
The lilac version. So I popped that thing on a couple of spins. So that's ironically enough, or unironically enough to you guys. Whenever I get a new speaker, a new sound system, anything, that's the first record I play. I'm like, in my lifetime, I want to hear this sonically on as many speakers as I possibly can. So, like, if you guys think about every like top brand like headphone you can think of, like Beats, AirPod Maxes, Bose, like I've owned them all, and I have listened to that the first thing. When I got the Yamaha HS8s that I have now, first thing I played, and now I got and such a piece of shit on the speakers because the built-in speakers on that Victrola are just so bad. But it was it won't be because I'm going to be getting some more studio monitors. I'm going to be going outro on that. I have a couple of other records I haven't listened to yet.
Let's
My
go.
girlfriend got me everything from Tesseract Portals to Abbey Road. So we got some
Nice.
shit to listen to.
You
Dude,
do.
that's I feel like that's a necessity for a vinyl collection though. You have to have variety in there.
Yeah.
It's one of those social things. You invite somebody into your home and like, yeah, pick a vinyl.
Yeah, it's like
Dude,
a
and
conversation piece. Yeah.
And it's so dangerous now. I really wish, like, it's part of me is like, wow, I have a
Welcome to the
vinyl
club.
player, but dude, now I'm like looking at like Take Me Back to Eden and fucking, I'm looking at Augment and like all these on vinyls are like $50. I'm like, well, fuck. Here we are.
Yeah, they're expensive right now.
Yeah, the sleep token stuff is super expensive. I just got This Place Will Become Your Tomb on vinyl recently because I pre-ordered it, so finally got it.
Wow.
Yep, got it for a steal.
So,
Dang.
dude, in the entrance to full transparency, we all have one thing in common right now. Derril and Brandon are both starting or have started new jobs, and
Oh.
I, as of today, am recently unemployed. Everybody, go ahead and clap it up for me. No. Hey, no. I said this before. I don't want any fucking sympathy.
Okay,
I don't
well-
want any. Hey, I don't want any pat on the back. I this is not how I roll. I'm gonna go take the world by storm.
You got
and
it.
I'm gonna barge into my next position. With I almost said rape. Not a good word to use.
That would not
I'm
be
I'm
good.
gonna go take the world by
That's definitely
storm.
not it.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just
definitely
gonna
not
leave it
it,
at that.
Jared.
I'm gonna rape my next position.
That's absolutely
Anyway,
not. That's
next time
please don't
when
take
you
that
guys
out
do
of
this, I'll
context.
be in jail. Anyway,
Oh my god.
You're
so
gonna. Man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
hey, none of that. Nope, I don't want to hear any fucking sympathy.
Okay.
I told you.
Sorry.
Only, hey, you're gonna figure it out, buddy.
Hey,
Hell
you
yeah.
got it. You got it, Jared.
Yeah.
Positive affirmations. You got it, buddy.
I'm
You'll
already
be good.
moving on. So, okay, let's get into this.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys know. I don't know.
probably
I know you guys
don't.
know. I don't know if it really hits you guys, but 2013 was fucking 10 years ago. And every single
Yeah.
time that I
Can you please
see like
stop?
an album pop up, I'm like, what the fuck? So, my homie, our homie, collectively homie, band Dayseeker, their
Yeah.
first album came out October 29th, 2013. What It Means to Be Defeated. That was on their first ever release on In Vogue back in the day.
I can go get my vinyl now.
You have a What It Means to Be Defeated vinyl?
I'll go get it.
Motherfucker.
Oh wow.
Dude, I didn't know. I thought Brandon found out about Dayseeker because of me. No, he's going to hate that. He's going to fucking hate that.
He's away from his computer too. He can't even say anything.
It would be an
but he can
immediate
hear us.
retort. Yeah, it would be an immediate retort if he was near his mic right now. Hey,
Yeah,
Brandon,
well,
aren't you
dude, I'm
super
with-
happy I introduced you to Dayseeker?
No, I found them myself, but thank you though. I decided to just pull them all out. So I have What It Means to Be Defeated.
Oh,
okay.
I have
Sleep Talk?
Origin,
Origin?
and I also have
wow.
Sleep Talk. Yeah.
Sleep Talk. Yeah.
Dude, fun fact, the guy who did the album artwork for Origin also does Across Oceans album artwork.
No way. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Jared also has a vinyl that I gifted him. I
do.
The Burden.
I
Sinking
haven't
Feeling.
listened to where it's somewhere around here. I got so excited. I need to listen to that thing. But ever since
should.
I've heard you guys shit on Victrolas and how they eat vinyls, I'm like terrified.
I said
too.
that. Yeah. They
Yeah,
do.
They're terrible.
They really are
Dude,
bad.
now
though.
I need to get a What It Means to Be Defeated vinyl. Have you listened to that yet?
Yes, I have. It's great. That's what it looks
So that
like.
was
For all those.
so there's let's see it. It's a full
Oh, that's nice.
the splatter,
That's
bro.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was on InVogue's site. So they had, by the way, for people listening, I pulled up the What It Means to Be Defeated vinyl that I got from InVogue, and they released both that and Origin at the same time. So they had like I don't know if they still have them up. If I can, I'll try to link them in the description, but not
Nice.
before I send the link to Jared first.
They have a forest green version of What It Means to Be Defeated for $25.
Oh, excuse me.
I think that's a must.
That's a
buy.
must
What
cop.
a-
Look at you.
Oh,
I'm such a bad I'm such a bad influencer.
tiger's eye.
I do.
You have the tiger's eye version.
I do
of
have the
that.
tiger's eyes version.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. You
and
have
it's
the
sold
right
out.
answer.
Only 300 were made.
So then I am the only
Wow.
of the 300.
I am the only of the 300. Wow,
I guess. Yeah.
dude.
I'm sorry.
So
Sparta.
so many things, man. I was listening to What It Means to Be Defeated, and it was interesting to me because I feel like Rory was in another band before that. Two bands really. He was in a band called Southern
Arms Like
Lights,
Yours.
and that was kind of Arms Like Yours, and then Southern Lights, which broke up, and half of the group became Dayseeker, and then they took the other half of the group from some pop punk band in the IE, I think. And then before that, he was in a band called Arms Like Yours. And then when I went back and listened to What It Means, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of similarities in the writing between Arms Like Yours and what they put on their first record.
Yeah, I would agree.
I feel like lyrically, because they had the same guitarist for a little bit, right? The first record was the same guitarist from Arms, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then they had a guy named Sean Yates for a little while.
At
and
the
then
Skylines,
they
baby.
kind of at the Skylines, and then they kind of graduated into their lineup now. But I was going back and listening to it, and I'm like, man, because before they were who they are now, like they were selling. The only places they were selling out were like House of Blues, Anaheim for their like vinyl for their album release show.
Yeah.
They played all 10 tracks on What It Means to Be Defeated for their
Ooh.
first show ever.
That would have been awesome.
And not first
Wow.
show, but first like headlining show ever. And then at the end, Rory goes, "Please don't ask us to do an encore. We have literally played you every song we know and have written as a band." And then in
That's intense.
classic fashion, some guy in the audience goes, "Just do Freebird." Yeah.
Yep.
Ugh.
So
There's always one.
So you were there.
Guy. I was there, man. I actually I saw days. I've seen them. Yeah, that was me. I was the guy who yelled out Freebird.
I knew it.
That was
You're
not
like
me.
some guy,
No, it
right?
definitely wasn't you.
Dude, it was weird because he's like, what, I think he was born in 89, so he's 4 years older than me. So he was in his early 20s when this album came out. And that was a lot of the music that he wrote and earlier in his catalog was around like his contentious relationship with his mom.
Hmm.
And that was actually the first show that his mom came to. Was his album release show
Oh man,
for
what
his inaugural
an
Dayseeker.
introduction.
Yeah.
Here's a song
Yeah.
about how much my contentious relationship with my mom is, and I'd like to shout out my mom who's in the crowd watching
Yeah,
me
my
talk
mom
about
is
this.
here. I actually don't think so. When I went back and listened to it, that album covers a lot of things. Like there's a song about like his uncle
Yep.
who got shot and died, and like that's who he's named after. Rory, it was the name of his uncle who died. And my good buddy Nathan Mead, who was in Eye of Helix, is featured on that track. And then a lot of people don't know this because I don't know if it's listed anywhere, but Garrett from Silent Planet actually does backup vocals on I think Sleep in the Sea on that one.
Yep. That's correct.
But it's kind of like lo-fi in the
Oh,
back,
that's
so
cool, man.
it's not super forward. But yeah, man, like they grew up, they came up together in that music scene. So even on Silent Planet's first record, Rory did a feature
Correct.
on
Yep.
their first on the night God slept, I think. He
Yeah.
did a feature on that. But yeah, dude, and then Garrett came back and did another feature on their next album, and
On
then I think
Origin.
Rory did a feature.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not on Origin. It was on Sleep in the Sea Part 2. I think it was on Waking is Rising.
Oh, so then that was the record after that then.
Yeah, so Origin came out and it was kind of funny because I was talking to Rory about like all of his like after a show. I'm like, "Hey man, like what was the difference in between like recording these different records, right?" Cuz he talked about Origin and how like they usually had to go across the country to like record all these albums cuz they did two on In Vogue. Origin
Yeah.
was the last one they did on In Vogue, and then like just the quality difference between like Origin to like Waking is Rising is like, "Oh shit, there's that Sharp Tone money." They're on Sharp Tone, right? No.
They are
They're not.
not. No, they're on Spine Farm.
Who the Spine Farm. I always
Yeah.
get those confused, like Mannheim Steamroller. Anyway,
The joke that
Well,
keeps on
dude,
giving.
it's crazy
that joke
because
that never ends.
your musical knowledge, like the information that you guys can retain is vastly higher than me. Like there's definitely bands that I know a lot about, but you guys just are like a wealth of knowledge about that all the time, and it's crazy to me.
Also, they
Dude,
recorded
Like,
in Ohio at its
they
Capitol
did.
House studios or something like that. I'm pretty sure, which I
Yep.
think was an affiliate of In Vogue because they basically had like a deal where they were like, you have to. It was like old Kingdom of Giants albums were also recorded in Ohio as well, before they wind up leaving In Vogue and going to Sharp Tone. So yeah, it's crazy. And you can tell
wow.
you can tell there is a difference, yeah, in recording quality for sure.
Immediate. And but like to Daryl's point, like the musical, I actually like like shook the fuck out of their guitarist Gino. I was like, before Sleep Talk, like the album cycle right before that, they played in Austin at Grizzly Hall or Come and Take It, and that was back when like they would be like, "Hey, we're gonna be at the merch table after the show. Come
Yeah,
say
come
hi."
say hi. Yeah.
So I met up with Gino and I was like, "Yo, dude, like let's get some beers at the bar. I'm buying." And so we were sitting there, and I was just throwing like obscure Dayseeker like lore at him. And the funniest one was when they first started in 2012, they had a sponsor, and their sponsor was a guy named by the name, he's a good friend of mine now. His name's Casey Richardson. He had a clothing brand called Evolve Clothing Company.
Yeah, I am familiar.
And he
Yep.
was their first sponsor. Like I don't like out of nowhere. Like, hey, we're sponsoring Dayseeker. I have a million Evolve shirts. I love those guys. But anyway, he recorded the first music video ever for The Quiet Disconnect.
Wow.
Before they released their actual music video for The Quiet Disconnect, there is another version, an unreleased version of that video somewhere, like in the ether. And I remember like them posting about it, and then the video never came out. So like a couple years later, I'm like, Casey, whatever happened to that? He's like, dude, we recorded that like in the middle of the summertime. Like half the cameras were like they weren't working.
Oof.
The footage wasn't usable. Like it just didn't come out the way that we wanted it to come out. I think that's what he said. Anyway, so
Damn.
I'm sitting at the bar with Gino, and I'm like, dude, whatever happened to that music video you guys did with Casey that never came out? And he finally looked over at me and goes, how the fuck do you know all this? Like, what are you, he's like, dude, even I don't. He's like, even I barely remember that. Where are you getting your info from?
Yeah, where's your
So,
inside man? Who's your inside
dude,
man? Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you were
That's the
born to
band
be
I
a
know most about.
podcaster, man.
Yeah, there you go. See,
No,
Jared.
that's it. That's where my knowledge ends. Like I know. That's all I got. Like Brandon interviewed the sleeping, and
I did.
I had this, and I was like, oh, ask them about this obscure song they did a cover of, "Staying Alive" for the Cranked movie
Yeah, it
album
was
sound.
great. Yeah, he was like, "What the
And then,
fuck?"
but then there was another one that I forgot about. MTV had this show back in the 2000s, which was like it was a show about like 16th birthday bashes or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there was a kid in New York, and the sleeping played that kid's birthday party on that show. And I was gonna, dude, you should ask him about that. I didn't even remember it until I was
It's
just like
all
the
right.
other day. I'm like, shit, that would have been a great one
That
to
would have been a
ask
great
fucking
one. Yeah,
Doug.
he did give
Would've been
some.
like,
He did really give some good stories though. So not to show for my own stuff, but
no, he did. He
he
did,
was
dude.
he gave
That
some
was a
like
great interview.
super like deep cut shit that if you are a sleeping fan, you should check that out. But
You will appreciate.
I will say, Jared, kind of to t-ball off his, I was kind of looking as you were answering the question about like 2013 and how that's like 10 years ago. I was just trying to look at the albums that came out in like 2013. They had
So many classics.
so many classics.
So many
Bring Me the
classics.
Horizon, Eternal came out. Dillinger, Escape Plan, One of Us is the Killer also came out in 2013. Day to Remember, Common Courtesy, Counterparts, The Difference Between Hell and Home, North Lane, Singularity. Let me see. I See Stars, New
Augment.
Demon, Era's Augment, Beartooth's first EP, Sick.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
After
that
the
was good.
Burial, Wolves Within,
Oh, that was
ABR's
I liked
Rescue
that album.
Restore. I mean, like I can go on. Blessed to
So
Fall,
many.
Hollow
Hollow
Bodies.
Bodies.
Yep.
Oh
Fit for
yeah.
a King, Creation, Destruction. Sworn
Funny, I've
In,
never
The Death Card. Like, oh my God, there's so many good ones. Misery Signals, Absent Light, one of the premier like metalcore records. Let's see what else. Like
You're
Moths to
forgetting
Flames, An Eye for
you're
an Eye.
forgetting the best pop punk.
Oh,
You guys are gonna hate me for this. The best pop punk album of all time, and
oh
at least
God.
my top pop punk album. What You Don't See, the story so far that came
Oh
out.
no, that's a great one. I agree with that. I love that. That's a great one. Holy shit. Let's see what else. Let's see if there's any more on here that I was really stoked on. But yeah, just I don't see any more that I'm familiar with. Oh, one of Invent. Oh, okay. Here's a good one. For Today's Prevailer came out 2013. It's a good one.
Rescue and Restore, 818.
Yep, 818.
Tomorrow We Die Alive.
Some crazy ones.
Tracing Back Roots. We came, dude. It's like
Yeah.
that was the start of like the for me anyway. That was the start of the transition between like everything that connected me to 2007 through 2010 metalcore into like that was the bridge for me into like what I know metalcore as today, right? Because then only a couple of years after that, you have like Wage War's debut album comes out, and they kind of
Yeah.
redefine what it is to be metalcore. And then you have like eras. Is it Drift? I think.
Yes.
That what is that? Yeah, that album
Yeah.
comes out, and that's a super solid album. And then Bring Me just kind of like they're like, hey, we're not doing metalcore anymore. We're gonna do like super awesome other stuff, and
That's the
some of the
spirit,
bands
baby.
kind of followed suit. And but
Trend
yeah,
centers.
man, so many. Dayshell, can't forget. I loved Dayshell too.
Dayshell.
When that
Yeah.
album,
That was a good one.
oh,
The self title.
you're not a fan of Dayshell?
I love like OG of Mice and Men, like first two album of Mice and Men, and I feel
Bailey?
like Shaley is like the goat on that. But the self title was great. I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan. I enjoyed it, but and I know he just released a new record recently. He went back to Joey Sturgis, so I haven't checked that out, but I heard it was pretty solid. So maybe I'll have to give it a listen. But
That was the never to be named again. The Confides crowdfunded album, All Is Calm. Also known as Joel Piper's fucking
oh
money
man,
grab.
I can't. Yeah, that's an album I'm not. I just picked up the previous album that they did. I forget what it's called. Man, why can't I remember it? I'm gonna look it up now.
Confide. It was Recover?
Yep, I picked that up on vinyl just the other day.
Dude, Recover. That was an OG fucking amazing one.
Yeah.
The Foundation, recorded in
Oh,
Connorsville.
yeah.
And,
Yeah, it's crazy.
dude,
It's I think it's crazy to think that those albums were that long ago. Like even like last year's like 2012. Like there's a lot of great albums from 2012. Like when I started really going to like local shows and stuff, it was like maybe late 2010s, like early 2011. It was like probably around that time was. I mean, I saw like local shows before that point, but that was when I started going to like bigger tours and stuff. Um, but yeah, that's crazy. It often makes me think about like how much music has changed in a decade too. Like, I mean, obviously it's those albums where like Era's Augment is probably one of my favorite albums of all time, undeniably. It's just like pure perfection.
chef's kiss.
Shout outs to Brian Hood who did the mix and master on that. Sounds
Garrison Lee.
still sounds great. Garrison, fantastic screamer. But I gotta give JT his flowers too. He's gotten so much better, and I just checked out the new Texas in July song, and dude,
Solid.
ooh,
So solid.
bro, he sounded fantastic. He's great.
Talk about
He's
another
crushing it.
band that went, oh, we're Christian metalcore. Guess what? We say fuck now. I'm like,
Yeah,
Another
man.
one bites the
All
dust,
right.
right? Oh man,
yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I
It's a
love
bold
that.
statement.
I love that. I love that now all of the like metalcore bands are now like being like, yeah. So that whole religion thing, yeah, we're out. We're getting
We're
out.
over that. But dude, I honestly, for Era, like especially, I really connected with Impulse and Augment, and then Garrison left, and they had Ian come in, and that was the first time I ever saw Era was with Ian on vocals, and they had their Moments of Clarity EP, which I still really liked. But once Alan left the band, he was the guy who wrote basically all the riffs with Jesse.
Correct.
And they released Drift. I didn't really connect with Drift at first as
Fair.
much as I had
Yeah.
Augment. And then Neon, I think I connected with Neon the least. But then once they found their they're a band that like I felt not lost me, but like I wasn't, and maybe it's just because Augment is so 10 of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 for me.
I was
That,
gonna
like,
say,
it's kind of hard. It's
Yeah.
like Tesseract. Anything else that comes after Altered State, I'm like, yeah, but it's not Altered State. I'm a pussy like that.
With Era, I really connected with Drift. I mean, I had heard them before, but I saw them for the first time on that tour that they did, and I was like, "Yo, this band is fucking awesome live," and that's how I got attached to them because there was that time frame of music. There was so much going around, like and coming out, that it was hard to get an album to stick with me for a while.
Yeah, sure. I would agree with
Dude,
that.
yeah, it was definitely like towards the end of 2013, it was like music overload. I think,
Yeah.
like you talked about Beartooth's. I think I said
Yeah.
this on the first, but that was Beartooth opened for Bless the Fallen, August Burns Red. When I told you guys that first story about Damien
Yeah.
and that kid. Yeah, like that was when they opened, and half the people hadn't even shown up yet for the show because they were like, "Who the hell's Beartooth?" But then they
Yeah.
played every song off of their initial EP, and now Beartooth is Beartooth,
Yeah.
right? So,
Also, that
yeah.
tour lineup. Did you guys see that tour?
That was one of those.
Oh, sorry, Derril.
Which
Go on it.
tour?
The
Wait,
tour
which
they
tour?
announced. They just announced for Beartooth tour.
Are
Oh,
they
anyway,
headlining?
Derril can say his piece, and then I'll give my 2 cents.
Yeah, you
after.
find that. What were we talking about?
Oh, holy shit! I have it up. The
Yeah.
Plot in You, Invent, Animate, and Sleep Theory
Yeah.
with Beartooth headlining
Nice.
in Oh, and they already
That'll be
have
big.
this is already selling out. Are you going to the Philly date, Brandon?
Oh yeah, for sure. I
Franklin
love
Music
plot.
Hall?
Yeah, I love plot. Well, it's not. Well, it's always going to be Electric Factory to me. But that's the venue.
Oh, is that what it is called?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's like
struggle with
if you're a local, you call it Electric Factory. If you're
Texas
out of
does that a
town,
lot, dude.
yeah, it's stupid.
Like next week I'm gonna go see Polaris and it's like at a venue that they used to
Oh,
call the White Rabbit, but it's like actually they call it Paper Tiger now.
Yeah, it's Paper Tiger now.
yikes!
But
Go
even still,
Well,
early,
like
Jared. You got to go see Pale Dusk. Pale Dusk is
I can't go late. Damien, like, dude, Damien, like, I'm the guy who's like, I'll go for the band that I want, and I've made the mistake because I missed Holding Absence when they opened for Devil Wears Prada a couple years ago, and I think I showed up at like their last song, and I went, oh
oh,
shit, this is actually like a good
they're
band. I should
such a
have
great
seen them.
band live.
Um,
Oh,
yeah, I missed Holding Absence. But
doing a
yeah,
headliner
man,
too.
Damien's none of that. He's like,
yeah.
no. He's like, you're such an asshole. If you don't go see the local bands, how do they make it? I'm like, okay, you and Brandon are gung ho about that shit.
That's true.
So
I agree with him. I agree with him on that one.
There's some bands here in town that that I try to see as often as I can, just because they're good local bands, you know. But in Austin and San Antonio, there's a lot more outlets for that.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. From what
yeah,
I
the
see.
metal scene here, the metal scene is still pretty solid. I mean, you definitely know that you live in like country state, right? Like, but it's it is still somewhat surprising to me, like when I go to like when I see someone wearing like a band T-shirt, and it actually happened to me when I went and saw in San Antonio a couple, or no, in Houston a couple of years ago. I saw um, Dayseeker, and then who opened for them? Fuck, I always forget their name. Hollow Front. And I was
Oh,
driving back,
nice.
and I
Yeah.
stopped at the Buc-ee's, and like everybody was wearing like Hollow Front merch, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That's
And I
awesome.
finally walked up to a guy and I'm like, hey man, nice shirt. He goes, oh yeah, the lead singer is actually my cousin. We all live out here where he came to see him. I'm like,
Uh,
oh shit. All right, man. Hell yeah,
shout
bro.
out to Tyler. New
Tyler.
album coming out. So very cool.
They do, yeah, dude. Poor what's his name?
Mm,
Dakota left and they were
yeah.
like, let's release a new one immediamente.
I don't think that's the case. I just think he was just like, I can't, especially after what happened. Yeah, I'm not surprised he left just because it was like, I don't know, touring's tough. I feel like,
That's fucking I just remembered Derril was talking about I was talking about Paper Tiger, but when you go um it wasn't Paper Tiger, but it might have been actually. Anyway, there's two local ones here, Paper Tiger and there's one called Vibes. But Vibes is
vibes.
split into two. Vibes Event Center is split into two. There's the Rock Box on the backside and then there's
Yeah,
Vibes Event Center. Um and
I've only been to
one
the
night,
Rock Box.
yeah,
Hell
one
yeah.
night like and it may have been at Paper Tiger, but anyway, like I went for a metal show and I walked out like just to get a breather, and then like right next door there was somebody else that was performing. So I walk across and it's this kid, and there's like 8 people in there. It's this kid who's doing like Suicide Boys stuff, and he has his laptop plugged in, and he's like, "Hold on, let me get my auto tune set up." he's like, he's doing like, he's doing like auto tuned like fucking gangster rap from his laptop with the lights going on, and he's feeling it, and I'm just like watching this, and I'm like looking around, and there's people that are like in the front that are like doing this, like they're super into it, and I'm like, dude, the guys watching the band I'm playing right now aren't even into this as much as fucking what's going on, but in this little back crevice, dude, it was like walking into a dark alley in Philly, and
Ooh.
like it was like just leaving. I don't know what's a nice place in Philly. I don't know if there are any, but like it
I
was
knew you were
just
gonna say
leaving,
that. I knew for a fucking
but
fact you were gonna say that shit.
dark alley, dude. It was kind of
Oh my
scary, but
god.
then once you realized that like nobody there was dangerous, they were all just kids who were like on shrooms and other drugs. You're like,
Hell
okay,
yeah.
this is kind of fun.
Let's go.
But even the sound guy, even the guy who did sound was like, this is what I'm fucking doing with my Saturday, really? I'm
He's
like,
getting
oh,
paid.
dude,
I
I'm
don't know.
sorry. I hope so.
I hope you
Because
get
like I
paid.
could see that being like, because there was no cover. I just walked into this thing. It was just this guy playing a free show in the back. And I could very easily see them being like, in order to get your name up as a sound engineer, you have to do some shitty shows first. And this guy's just like, this kid's laptop's overheating and his auto tune's not working. I'm just here fucking with this sound mixer. It
Oh
was
my god.
anyway. If I don't know the kid's name, you to be fair, you tried your best. So A for effort.
Also, I'll let Derril.
Okay.
I'll let Derril know that there's a very cool tour that's coming down to the Myrtle Beach neck of the woods area. It is part dos of the Metalcore Dropout tour, so it's still going to be Fit for a King, Devil Wears Prada. Counterparts is on that bill, but replacing Landmarks is a Void, which is shout out to the boys. I love a Void.
Oh shit!
So
Yeah,
it's
man, I gotta
that's a
go
stacked
see
lineup.
them.
That's a stacked lineup, bro.
That's one of those bands that I always I listen to regularly, but they're West Coast and I'm on the East Coast, so I've never seen them before. So yeah, I gotta find that.
They're a great band to see live for sure. So there you'll have a good ass time. Maybe I'll be down there and we'll go to that show together. That'd be kind of sick. Planning around it. I don't know. It's in February.
When is it?
I think it's in
Oh,
like
man,
February. Yeah.
I feel like we can make that work.
Let me look. I'm gonna double check. I'm pretty sure it's and it's also coming out to my area, so maybe I'll see it twice. Who knows? It's gonna be fucking sick.
Damn,
Dude, do you know a band called LS Dunes?
I do.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, I like them.
It's a super
Are they
group.
good?
It's a super group.
They're
It's a-
opening
yeah, it's a-
for they're opening for Pierce next month, or they're
That makes sense.
co-headline.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's Anthony Green.
It's Anthony Green, dudes from Census Fail, and
I'm pretty sure it's Anthony Green is fronting
cool.
it. It is the guitar player from Coheed and Cambria, the guitar player from My Chemical Romance, and the bassist and drummer for Thursday.
Thursday. Not yeah,
Whoa.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Dude, Thursday? Talk about a fucking throwback.
Most of that band's from New Jersey, which is sick.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
And
well,
Anthony Green is
Anthony's
sober.
from and
Has been sober for a few years now too.
yeah.
What a pussy.
Oh my God,
No,
why would you
man.
say that? I
I
can't
love
wait
him.
for
Oh, I
this to
can't
be. I can't wait for this to get clipped, and then Anthony Green come on the podcast and talk shit about Jared.
No. There's one rule you can live by. That's not Brandon, because you can't drink.
I
but,
can't.
like,
Yeah.
if you want to live by any rule in life, this is what I would live by. Just listen up, kids. No, I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
Sorry,
Never
Dad.
trust a man that doesn't drink.
I guess you can't
That's
trust
all-
me then.
that's
Fuck.
You can't drink, but if you can, and you don't, it's fucking weird.
Well, we weren't exactly talking about alcohol either. So
Oh, heroin. It's all in the same family.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like
This is
with
gonna go over-
I
this
feel
is
like
gonna
with
go
each
over
episode,
terribly.
Jared goes off just a little bit more. I feel like he's like slowly
Well, he's just-
inching off the edge more and more. He's just like, how much shit can I get away with when I talk? in
Yeah,
the podcast?"
that's exactly right. I think like
How
there's
can I
got to
skirt
be
the
an
line?
edge moment. There's an edge moment in every episode where Jared's like, "I'm gonna say something off the fucking wall
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now."
Dude,
Well,
this is
honestly, it
our
would be
fucking
great.
podcast. We say whatever we want. That's what you told me when we
That's
signed
true.
up.
I did.
Yeah,
you are right.
We were just pointing out the obvious. You can say whatever you want.
All right,
That's your
next
thing.
topic: prison rape. Oh, I
Okay,
mean, just kidding.
God. Okay, take it easy there, Chief. Okay.
Terrible.
Oh my God.
That's the second time I've said the R word.
I know.
on
What the
this
hell's wrong
podcast.
with you, dude?
Anyway, I'm pissed because they're coming through. So Pierce is playing, but I didn't
Nice.
find out about the show until like hella late.
Oh no.
Dayseeker's opening for them, LS Dunes, and it's sold out. It's fucking sold out. I'm pissed.
Oh, that's a good tour.
That's a great
too,
lineup.
though.
Yeah, big.
I guess I
I'm
can
gonna
go.
look that one up.
Oh, guys, it's all safe. This is at the SB. It's a place nearby, but I'm actually not that pissed anymore. They have on the 27th, this Friday, all is saved. Taylor Swift Laser Dance Party.
Yeah,
is
let's go. Do it
Oh,
up. I'm trying to see if
There
they're
is
playing around me.
there are train tracks nearby, so I can just jump on those pretty soon after.
Oh, I can see them in Reading. Okay, cool.
That was a suicide joke. I'm batting the cycle.
You really are you're on fire tonight, I think.
Yeah, you're really getting
somebody
it today.
somebody lit a fire under you tonight.
I'm feeling
We all
it.
have to vent sometimes. You know?
Yeah. And it just so
Brandon,
happens that
fucking
Jared
Brandon.
uses the podcast to do that. So it's great. Love it.
Yeah, I just, you know, you have to go through life with an I don't give a fuck attitude. You really do, you know? And if you go through that life with that attitude, but you know you're a winner regardless, Derril knows that better than anybody. Like all the shit he's been through and all the years of experience he has, dude, you have to be able to put your middle finger up and just not give a fuck about what anybody thinks about you and just live your life, dude. Who cares?
Honestly, yeah, I just don't say some of the same shit you do. As
I'm just mentally fucked in the head.
well, I mean, you know, it's nice to be free of the opinion of others. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Talk about Mexico.
Oh man,
No.
Wait, is it
It's
not a
me-
good
hey,
story?
beautiful place.
But
Beautiful
you got?
place.
Did you get food poisoning?
I basically was shitting the whole time I was there.
Fuck.
Oh.
Well, then it's a successful Mexico trip.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't leave that
I didn't
place.
drink the water. I didn't drink the water or anything. I just to be honest, like beautiful place. The service is great. Like it's an all inclusive. I was there for a friend's wedding. That wedding was beautiful. You know, and everywhere you walked, all the bartenders were like, "You want me to make you a shot?" And like, yo, let me get you. Like, just hitting you,
They
and
know.
and you know, so just everybody's like dehydrated and drunk and like just getting beat on by the sun. Like I'm pretty tan right now.
Looking good.
Yeah, I'm brown, just brown. Uh, dude, but the food was my problem. Like nothing. It's just like cafeteria. I mean, it's essentially cafeteria food for the most part. They had some restaurants and the food
Ooh.
was pretty good, but like the lack of seasoning on everything was killing me.
In
killing.
Mexico.
Like I was like, where did I? Is this supposed to be kept like a nursing home essentially, or like a retirement home? Like what is
Prison
going
food.
on here? Because well, everybody was young. Like I mean, they were like it was all weddings, right? Like wedding. So kids everywhere and shit, and like
This is the food at the wedding.
this is the food, the whole experience.
Oh.
What city?
Yeah,
We
I
were
need
in
to X that
Cancun.
off. All right, well, we're definitely Xing that off. That's not happening.
Like in Cancun, I'll
Cancun
send
had
you guys some pictures because it was gorgeous. In fact, here I'll do it right now. That way we can talk about them.
Could talk about the view.
So, but yeah, and it was cool. Like they had activities they offered and stuff, but we're there for a wedding, so most of our time is spent with people from the wedding because
Yeah.
there was only like I think 36 in total, including bride and groom and everyone. So,
But all inclusive, you said, right? All inclusive. So
yeah,
does that come
didn't
with
spend a dime
over
the whole
or
time.
under the pants HJs?
Well,
God, fuck.
not quite like that.
If somebody tells me that a wedding's all inclusive and that's not even offered as like an a la carte on the menu, get out of there. It's a terrible place to be. Anyway, back talking about wedding food. Yeah, man.
Man, I didn't take a single scenery photo.
I broke Brandon's brain.
How'd you do that?
I
Brandon's
can't
just
believe
like,
you fucking
sucks.
said
I had
that.
Yeah.
Damn, man, I didn't take a single scenery photo.
Damn.
Of
Look
that,
at you.
Of that whole
He was
time I
too
was
busy
there.
taking pictures of his shitty food.
Fucking ADHD, man.
I hate this meal. Let me photograph it.
Well, okay, so this is how it works for me in situations like that. Somebody says, "Hey, take a photo," and it's like a whole group of people, and my long-armed ass. That my wife, she loves my long arms. Honestly, I think it's her favorite feature of me. You know, and so I take photos, and then they're like, "Here, text it to me." So I
It's the most
text
fucked up
it,
thing
and
I've
then
ever heard.
that's how I end up with photos from vacation on my phone. I'm terrible.
I love your long arms.
I'm gonna have to ask her next time I.
The only thing I love
Next time I
more
see
than
her.
your long arms is your chubby cock.
Okay, all right. You need to.
Hold on.
You
I
need
had
to
a guy.
fucking
I had a guy
stop,
tell
bro.
me. I had a guy tell me that.
Oh,
I had a guy tell me
no.
that. He goes, but it was out of nowhere. We're at a bar. He goes, a guy I don't know. He's talking to me for a little bit. He goes, "Hey, no easy way to say this, but I mean it like a compliment. You look like a guy who's got a chubby cock." I'm like, right. Hell yeah. So ever since then, I've just been telling everybody that I can think of, like, Daryl, don't take this the wrong way, but but it's always funny when you say something like totally fucked up, but then you start it with, "Don't take this the wrong way."
You always know it's
But
gonna be something bad.
It's not good. Yeah.
yeah, or
It's
somebody
never
like
a
someone's
good
like,
sign.
"Don't get mad," but you're like, "Okay, I'm already
Oh no.
pissed." Like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
What are you gonna enrage me with?
But I couldn't even be mad. I just laughed. I just laughed because who says that? It's
Exactly.
like
You just said it. So
there's people that give off BDE, but to give off CCE is a totally different fucking enigma. Like
I don't need this to
you're
become a thing. I just want to let
This
you
is
know.
gonna be
oh,
a
he's
meme.
Daryl,
This is a meme
Daryl's
already.
clipping this for the TikTok.
That'll get us
Oh
banned on TikTok probably.
no! I am. That's going on.
Oh
CCE for
god.
sure.
Oh shit. All
Hashtag
right.
CCE 3mab.
Oh god.
Hashtag
That's gross.
I hate this.
Anyways,
I hate this.
has anybody else listened to the new Blink 182 record?
I've not. No. I haven't even
I heard a song.
I heard a couple of songs, yeah.
The
One more
song
time.
the song is the easy listening song that you expect them to put out. But honestly, like my first day going to work today, and I put that on. I was like, oh yeah, I got to listen to this. And Anthem Part 3 comes on, and anybody who has listened, like this is one of those things where this was geared at my generation. Like this
Okay.
whole
Excuse
album. But no, seriously, it's like just one huge nostalgia fest of songs, and it's pretty long, but it's like old school Blink-182 where they had like 30-second just like rambling noise songs. Like you get all of it. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't know. I know. I'll be 100% honest. Like, obviously, I've listened to a lot of Blink 182 records, but they're the type of group that I never really like. I never really like cared about in that way. I guess if that makes sense. Like, I obviously know
Yeah.
that I obviously know they're like a staple and they're that band.
This is Brandon's Beatles take that I had on the first episode.
Yeah.
No,
this
not
is
Beatles. Queen
take. Yeah.
Oh,
I think they've
yeah.
got great. I think they've got great hits. I just never really like giving them the time of day. To be completely fair.
What
So.
and okay, to be with fully fully honest, like I
You're
don't
gonna
think
be
they're a
Daryl
great
Fry.
band.
No,
Like-
I know. I'm not
Like
saying
from
you
the
do.
no, like it's not like for the musicality of it, it's fun to listen to, but it's not complicated, right? Like they're a power chords band with Travis
Yeah.
the
You guys
motherfucking
want
Barker
to start
playing
a
drums.
band that
But like
are
the lyrics
singing
are
power chords and blast beats.
Hell
the
yeah.
lyrics are where the lyrics are where people connected
Yeah.
with Blink 182. You know.
I thought it was just the way that he like said everything like he had
Where
cerebral
are
palsy.
y'all?
Where
Still
are
does that. But there's it's a good little run. I like when they always put in like the fast like the double time punk beats,
Yeah.
and they do that a few times in the record, and every time I heard like it's one of those things that I hear sonically and I'm like, ooh, yeah, like
That's true.
Travis Barker
Travis
from
Barker,
my
baby.
hometown.
Yeah.
Went to
Oh!
Fontana High School. Yeah, man. The
Crazy.
only cool person to come out of Fontana, California. That's not true. There's a linebacker in the NFL that didn't matter. But yeah, Travis
well.
Barker, dude.
Just
Do
Travis
you
Barker.
guys have a thing where you hear it sonically and like every time you hear it, you like look down to see what you're listening to?
Oh,
What
like
are
a
we talking
tell?
about?
Like a tell?
Like a specific stylistic thing in music, like that, like a huge breakdown. Obviously, we're all
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's coming,"
Yeah. It's the build up.
like
Yeah,
the
the
big
build up.
pause or the
Yeah.
or your arf. So there's a lot of different things, but
I would
any
say
of those that
mine.
grab you guys every time.
I would say mine is as I like when bands do like the traditional chorus, and then the last time before the song ends they hit us with like a final chorus and it's halftime. Love that.
Oh,
That's like
yeah.
one of my favorite
Do
things.
love, yeah.
I love a good
They
halftime.
hit you with the
The-
huge wave of emotion.
Yeah, the halftime, like everything opens up. I love that. That's probably one of my favorite things that I'm like, ooh, what's that band? Okay, now I'm gonna have to check them out. I like that. So that's probably mine. or like an insane like blast beat section is piques the interest, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I've always listen to the new Tech Death records as they come out from the bands that are still jamming Tech Death.
Yeah, like
And I'm sure
What's
somebody's
what's an
somebody's gonna
example of
come
a
for me for that. Like I know there's a bunch of bands I've probably never heard of, but the bands that I keep up with, every time I listen to the Zenith Passage, it's just like humans are capable of anything. This is so. It's just like it's like
the
sparklies going
history.
off in my
It's the history aliens,
ADHD
dude.
rattle
It's
brain.
the
Just
aliens,
like,
dude. Aliens, bro.
yeah.
Aliens.
If only I could get my hair to stand up right
You
now.
got it. And Jared, you asked
Two
about
moons,
tech
one video.
death. He asked about tech death bands. Daryl.
That I like.
Yeah, or
just any? I mean,
or
I don't
any.
think I've ever heard a band that could be described as tech death.
Like
Technical death metal.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Like
Oh, is the band Death?
Necrophagus.
No, okay.
Like Necrophagus was the big one for a lot of people because they came out with one record in like 1996, and it was like the production was even ahead of its time, and then they toured the Summer Slaughter tour in
Let's go.
like I don't know 2000, like an early, like the second or third one maybe. And people freaked out and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna get another record." Nope.
Oh.
Nope. They still never put out a second record.
Damn.
It's like an ongoing thing. But I also like more current bands. Like you got to listen to the Zenith Passage and
Nice.
Archspire.
All right, I was gonna say
those are the two to start
Archspire is
with.
wild. Yeah, they're sick.
They are
Archspire. I've heard of them.
Yeah, Ollie is a beast of a vocalist. Like he's one of the fastest vocalists alive. Like he like competes for it.
That makes sense.
It's
Also,
insane.
Would you consider Entheos tech death?
Yes, Entheos is another good
Entheos
band.
is rad.
You'll end up down
Angel?
that hole. There's more, but
Cheney's wild. Shout out to Cheney.
dude, yeah, her and
She's
Naveen are
awesome.
like two of the nicest fucking people I've ever met too.
They're awesome. Big salutes.
What about
Dude.
I heard on a rotational fucking thing the other day. I heard a band called Dying Wish.
Oh,
Jesus.
yes. Let's go,
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
They're awesome.
Not bad. I
Shout out
was
to Emma.
impressed.
I met her. She was very nice. Big salutes. Did you know, fun fact, Emma and Jeremy from the Divorce Prada are dating?
What?
Yep.
Really?
Mhm.
I guess he sold his soul to the devil for real now. Well,
Well,
I'm waiting for
Well.
I'm waiting for a Dying Wish
He's
Prada
the
collab.
oldest.
I feel like that'd be kind of sick. I don't know who I have
let's
to
talk
ask.
about the fact that. So I'm going to Sick New World.
Oh shit! Congrats, brother.
And you guys aren't.
I'm
guys
not.
didn't buy
No.
tickets.
No.
Why not?
Okay.
Can I won't be mad. I won't be mad. I'm not going to approach this in my typical freaking jerk off, loud, boisterous.
You could do
fashion.
whatever you want. Sure.
Well, no, I tried.
You're
I
one
talked
third
about
of the
rape
podcast.
many times, and it's like you guys were done with it.
This is the third time
Um,
you doubled down, tripled down on this.
I always do.
Okay.
Why didn't you guys buy tickets for Sick New World?
I don't know. It just didn't. I should have honestly, but I also looked at my bank account and I was like, yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, I
have
just
layaway plans.
paid for
$19.99. Yeah.
I just paid for one trip and I have to go to another wedding in December. So you had to pick
Oh.
and choose the battles.
I also wasn't
Not
sure. If I was,
bad.
to be fair, I wasn't
It's
sure if I
fun.
was gonna get another paycheck, so I
Bring me the horizon.
didn't do it.
Yeah,
Bad
well,
omen.
that's smart. You know, it's a sound
Sleep
financial
token.
decision, I
Yeah.
guess.
Lamb of God.
I know. Excuse me, I'm a nerd. you
Knock
know?
loose.
That's
Baby
yeah.
metal.
It
You're
is a
gonna have
great
so much
lineup, though.
fun.
You're gonna have so much fun. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Kindred. Incendiary.
Incendiary, Danny, come on the show, bro.
They're gonna be there, man.
Yeah, get
Black Veil Brides. And if there's any reason why I wouldn't
Yeah,
go.
go to that one. I bet you Jared's going to that secretly. He's just trying to say, like, yeah, you won't
I
go to
already
Black
know.
Veil Brides.
I'm gonna miss half the bands I want to see. Probably.
It's supposed to be like Warped,
Better
though.
Lovers.
I'm pretty sure. Better Lovers.
Yeah, there's
all-
there's multiple stages. I need to get into Loathe more so I can be bad. I
Oh.
miss them too.
Bruh. Yeah, you need to see them live. They're a treat. I love seeing them live.
I'm also very concerned. This is the first place I'm ever going to see Knocked Loose.
Oh, good. Oh, good
Well, dude,
luck.
because there was a So when we were young, Fest just
Yes.
happened, or is
Correct.
happening.
Yep. This happened this past weekend.
And there was a TikTok guy who was in a helicopter who was just live streaming it from a helicopter the entire day. And the sheer mass of bodies that I saw at that thing. But then I saw pictures, and surprisingly, I guess unsurprising if you're not a fucking Astro World cunt who kills people, the people that were in the crowd, they had plenty of space. They were nice.
Yeah.
They were like, dude, they gave people space to move and breathe
It
and
was sick.
have a good time. I'm like, dude, this is because I saw the sheer mass of bodies, and I sent it because Damien's going to Sick New World, and I'm like, dude, this is what we're in for. But then I started seeing photos from on the ground. It was no Blue Ridge. I'll say that. It was actually seemed to be done right.
Yeah. Wow. What a concept, right?
Dude,
Running
Actually-
a festival successfully, that's crazy.
staff your festival. with
Staff your
people
festival?
and-
Holy shit. That's
bad?
wild.
Come
What?
on. You
Okay.
got it. Just double the pay. If you think you have found an adequate number, double that when it comes to payroll for these.
Yeah. For real. They deserve it. Shout outs.
Not expect a security kid at the gate who's making $10 an hour to care if people are stampeding into this event or not.
Yeah. It was crazy.
It was like working at the LA County Fair because I was my first job ever, and and I'm not going to mention any names, but we were doing all kinds of heinous shit. We were fucking stealing money from the registers and just doing, and we're like, what do we care? We're like, dude, this is a temporary work assignment. I'm 17 years old. What are they gonna do? This was before they realized that they needed cameras and shit on every register. We were fucking heinous. We did all kinds of stupid shit. Dude, we were going on rides and fucking picking up chicks
my
and getting
God.
blowjobs in the porta potties.
Oh.
We were doing all kinds of shit. We were reckless kids. But it's an experience I will never trade for anyone else. The best story I have from that when there was a girl. I was 17, before I turned 18. Because it was from September to the beginning of October. I was 17 and I was working the gate. Yelling at people, reminding them to not forget to pick up their photos on the way out. I was a photographer, and then at the end of the night, they would send me to a gate and give them a slip. Don't forget to pick out your photos. Anyway,
Nice.
there was a chick that was blackout, just blackout. She was with somebody else. This is before I knew what consent was. There was a chick. No, I'm just kidding. I can't take that joke too far. Anyway. So there's this chick and this other chick that is her sober friend, and the girl who's blackout can't even walk, and the car is a good quarter mile into the parking lot. So I'm supposed to be standing at this gate, but my boss, he left his post. I'm looking at this girl, and there was a guy who rents wheelchairs out right next to me. So I look at him and I look at her, and I'm scheming, and I'm like, hey, let me get one of those wheelchairs. I'm gonna roll this chick to her car. He goes, you must leave your ID. So I gave my ID as collateral for this wheelchair. So in typical drunk chick fashion, I was the victim in the story. I want to say that now.
Wow. All right.
So I was wheeling this chick out. She's 21. She's saying all kinds of heinous shit. And she's like, oh my God, you're so hot. You have typical drunk chick shit. So I got to, long story short, this chick who's 21 very clearly knew that I was 17, said, no, you're 18 tonight. And we made out in the parking lot. But it was weird because her friend was third wheeling. And I had to lower this chick into the car, into the back seat. And it almost went to a place where I was like, is this really about to happen in a parking lot at the fair? And this girl's just going to be this weird random third wheel. The 30-year-old me is you should have parlayed it, you fucking pussy. But anyway, I rolled the wheelchair back to, I got her number. Shout out to Nikki if you're ever watching this podcast.
Oh my God. Fuck.
got her
Why
number,
would you do this,
and
dude?
rolled the wheelchair back, and my boss is standing at the gate where the fuck have you been? You were gone for 35 minutes. I'm like, dude, I was helping some old lady out to her car. She didn't know how to get there. So I borrowed a wheelchair and rolled her out there. Anyway, the week before the fair closes,
What a cover story.
Yeah.
Nikki
Good job,
comes
bud.
back. and I'm standing at the front gate, and she's like, and it's daytime now. Mind you, we both saw each other in the dark the first time we met. So it's daytime now. So she comes back, and she's like, "Hey, are you Jared?" And I immediately recognize her, and I'm like, "Who?" And she's like, "Jared." I'm like, "I don't." We made out in the parking lot. I'm like, "Which night?" I don't remember. She's like, I just leaned into it super heavy and acted like I didn't know who she was, and then never spoke to her again. She wandered off to other. I think she got more drunk that. I'd like to think she got more drunk that night because she was upset that I dogged her. But that's the type of shit 17-year-old Jared did. I wouldn't do that now. Nikki, I owe you. I owe you a dinner. If I'll send you a Chili's gift card. So
I
Jesus!
just want to say Jared is on fire tonight for no other
You
reason.
were-
We did not ask him to do any of this shit, and yet he just did it. So
Dude, yeah. I don't get left speechless often,
Yeah.
but that right there.
man,
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 not happy.
man is
I
cooking.
remember he was you let the attendants handle that, and I'm like, dude, the attendants. I did a better job than they could. Let's just say their tongue wasn't going, or my tongue wouldn't keep it.
All right.
Like just leaning into that with the face.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, I could see. I can see it. Can see
No,
exactly how that would have planned out.
I had zero wit. Like 17-year-old me was petrified. I'm like, am I gonna lose this job? I only have for another 2 weeks anyway. Like, I was terrified, but it didn't matter. I was doing stupid shit anyway. Like
Good for you, Jared.
you would get to go on the rides, but only if the ride attendant was cool. So like sometimes you'd walk up to the ride, and you'd be like, I'll go on the ride. I work here. You'd like point to your name tag, but they were all like independently like hired by different companies. So most of the time they were cool, but there were some ride attendants who were like, I'm protecting this ride with my life. If you step past this line, I will throw you out. It's like the fucking security guards at the We Came as Roman show in Providence that got
Oh,
canceled.
damn.
No.
That's a good. I'll give you that. That was a kudos moment. I like that. Big
You like
ups.
that
Big
segue?
up. Yeah, that was a good segue.
It only
I
took
feel
11 minutes
bad.
and a shitty story to get to where I wanted to go.
You really took the largest detour I've ever seen in my entire life, Jared. So big ups to you. Man, yeah, that was a shit show. And also, like, it's a body snatcher show. What do you expect? I've seen body snatcher. I mean, I literally saw someone pick
Yeah.
someone up, throw him over the bar, and then a fight broke out. And I've never been more
It's-
scared in my entire life. So
It is reckless in a body snatcher show.
yeah,
But dude, that's like we're talking about it like a couple episodes ago. The guys that come and take security guards that are looking for reasons to throw people out of shows. You should quit your fucking job and just get a kickboxing membership. Like if you want to beat people that much, either just get a domestic or get a kickboxing membership. Like just fucking just go all out.
for real. Yeah, might as well.
Brandon, you can't sign off on that joke. I basically
Uh,
told a condoned violence.
Okay, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, but I don't go to shows that often where people are like that. But like I've been raucously roughhoused. I've been
Roughhoused. You've been roughhoused.
by
Yeah.
a security guard.
Ruckusly
My bad.
handled.
Rockalese handled. I like
Saving that one
That's
for
even
the
better.
old
Yeah, that's a
memory
good-
bank. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Ruckusly handled.
Speaking-
Let's say it
I've been
again just to make sure.
Haphazardly handled by a couple of
Oh my god.
fondling security guards, or the guys that use like crowd surfing as an excuse to grope women. Ugh, gross.
Big
Even
yikes.
fucking worse.
That's worse. Big yikes.
I'm the opposite. Like I'm crowd
Disgusting.
surfing. I'm like grabbing guys' hands, like putting it on my junk. Like yeah, grab. No.
I knew it. It's all coming out now.
Have you ever tried to crowd surf and nobody caught you?
Oh yeah.
No, I've never.
Yeah.
Total lie. I've never tried to crowd surf in my life. Number
Yeah.
one, I'm too fat now. But back then, I was terrified that exactly what you said
Yeah.
was going to
It
happen.
sucks.
I've had it both ways, and it does suck, especially if it's like concrete floors.
Oof.
But it does happen.
It does happen.
Dude,
yeah.
you know, if you go back and watch like a lot of the Hate 5-6 videos, there's multiple camera angles. You'll see a lot of that.
Yeah.
Guys at these
eat shit.
shows,
Yeah.
they're like, I'm gonna jump, and nobody catches them, but they're like kids, so they just get, like if me and Derril or Brandon try to do that, we'd need to fucking workers comp.
Yeah.
But
I
like
would be out.
they're just kids, they fall and they're like they get right up and they just get back into it.
It's wild. Yeah. To have youthful energy, man. Tell you what, it's kind of nuts. Speaking
Nothing
about keeping
makes
it in the memory bank,
Youthful energy.
Derril had
Goodness.
a story to tell me before we hopped on air, and it was about a guest that I'm having on this Saturday, which I'm very stoked about.
you can say now they'll be out by
That's
then.
it. Yeah, it'll be with Aaron Marshall of Intervals. So very
I'm
excited.
I'm on that. I'm just kidding. I won't.
Yeah,
do that
you're
to you.
Jared's
But I,
coming on.
Right?
no,
Yeah.
but I met Aaron Marshall met me. He knows I'm stupid. So
Yeah. That's well. What I told Brandon was that he's like cool as fuck.
he is
We several years ago, early in the Ansible days, we opened a show at the Dirty Dog for him,
Hell yeah,
and Plini was on tour with him.
This is a fucking. I love where this
great
is going.
lineup.
And we opened like when I tell you that Come and Take It Productions has put me on some of the coolest fucking shows. Like we were like the progressive band in town for a while, and so we got a bunch of cool shows.
Shout outs.
But anyways, after we were all done playing, we stuck around. Of course, we're gonna watch intervals featuring Polini, like with playing both of their songs. It was oh my god, and they were like intertwined them together. Like they wrote a set using both of their music. I was baffled.
What year is this?
20 like 15 or 16.
I think
it was pre me because I saw intervals and
yeah.
playing together in 2018, and I was like, Derril, if we were at another show together that we didn't meet each other.
But
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, after the show, we're just kind of hanging out, finishing loadout, and Aaron Marshall sits down with my guitar players and talks to them about music and production, and he like went and listened to some of our music before the show. Like I don't know if maybe they showed it to him, but that's the only way I could understand, because he was like talking about, or I guess maybe he watched our set right there. That could be. Maybe
It's
it was
probably a
live
mixture of
production
both.
that
I
we're
don't know,
talking about. Yeah. But just super nice, and like, and I think you're gonna have a killer interview. I can't wait to listen to that one for sure.
It's gonna be great. I'm excited. They're
I'm gonna send you I'm gonna send you 2 questions I want you to ask him.
okay. You got it. I always
know
do
you
that.
One,
Won't let me tarnish your reputation by like flying off the
What?
handle and making a dick joke.
I didn't
But
say. What the fuck are you talking about, Jared? I've asked
I know
every
you- I
question
know
you have
won't-
asked me to ask
I'm
people.
saying, I know you won't like let me co-host the interview. Is my point, which
Yeah.
is probably fair. But I know that you will let me ask a couple of questions.
I will.
So.
You got it. I
he
always give
lets
you
you
a shout.
co-host interviews on here.
Yes, which is because we and you too, Derril. Wow, crazy concept, right?
Like he would never let me co-host an audio addiction interview. That would defeat the purpose of audio addiction.
Yeah, it's me.
It's audio addiction plus friends, bro.
Plus friends.
That's
Sometimes.
for live listening,
Asterisks.
man. We were-
Yeah.
like I know my place as the live listen guy. I'm good for it.
You
know,
are
he's
good
like,
for
"Oh,
it.
The live listen
Dude,
guy.
I'm a very descriptive.
Yeah.
I like words so much.
I like words so much.
I like words
I like words
so much.
Words are so good. Lyrics.
Gotta put that on my
great.
tombstone.
Yeah, there you go.
Jeez.
Words so good. I love it. No,
Yeah,
honestly,
well, I don't.
if you guys come on, you
Brandon.
guys can come on.
I'm gonna walk around. I just want you guys to know.
Okay.
I'm gonna be walking around Sick New World with an audio addiction champion pouch.
Let's go. Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go.
That is
Turn
sick.
up. Let's go.
You'd be
Very excited.
pickpocketed.
Also, shout outs to the channel. I got 3K subs today, so big salutes.
Wow.
We did it.
Congratulations, buddy.
And you should
What's the
subscribe to this
official-
YouTube channel. Subscribe to this
What's the
YouTube channel.
First video upload date on audio addiction. Do you know it?
It's February. I think it's February 15th of it was like 8 years ago. So
2016, 2015.
2016, yeah, something like that.
Dude.
Which is crazy.
See, I don't even know when we first aired this podcast.
we could just look back. We're 7 episodes in.
I mean, yeah, that's what I do. Like dates are not my thing. I remember sets of numbers,
I
but
think we did. It was September 5th. Yeah,
of
Yep.
2016.
of this year.
Yep, the first episode we ever did was
Oh, I thought you were talking. I thought you were talking about when you guys first interviewed.
I don't even
No.
remember.
I missed.
No, that
I
was
missed something.
that was a while ago. That was I think I interviewed Derril first, which, funnily enough, is actually the first interview we did has like an insane amount of views on it, which is actually pretty funny. Like I'll go back. I'm curious because it's a lot, like an outrageous
no.
amount. Yeah.
So
So
what's the comment section like?
I don't even think there was a whole lot of comments, if I'm going to be honest. Now I gotta look.
That was weird. That was such a
Yes.
weird.
So the first interview we did 7 years ago, which is whoa, big. This has 3,200 views on it from 7 years ago, which is like
What?
astronomically more than the next interview we did, which was 3 years after that. That has 44. And then we have never interviewed after that point.
Well, we don't need to now.
We don't need to now,
Why?
but just
If we're being honest, that's my fault because I'm not doing anything right now.
I
so-
know, but I just meant like that's great.
Ugh.
And then Jared's, let me see. I'm curious what Jared's the first one. You guys can
when
check
do you
these out in the
record?
description.
2017.
You think it's
That's
2017?
incredible.
Okay.
It's
I know
incredible
it
how
is.
you do that.
First, it was the first album cycle for Across Oceans.
So the first interview we did was 6 years
Nice.
ago. And the second interview we did was 11 months ago.
Yep.
Damn.
That's crazy. And now we've
When
been
do you
friends for
re-
this one.
Comes full circle.
When do you go into studio, buddy?
Yeah.
Dave next Thursday and Friday. We're
Woo!
recording.
Fuego Dave.
It's called Drive. It's gonna be. He described it as he's like I sent him the just the pre-pro like skeleton. He's like, bro, this sounds like a cross between Newfound Glory and Chevelle. I'm like, that's not what I was going for, but all right.
That's shout outs to
The
Dave.
Chevelle reference, fucking sick. Remember the first everything I write sounds just like Vitamin R. Here it is again, fucking Chevelle.
I'll give a shout outs to Dave. I had a conversation with him.
Dave.
And he was like, yeah, he's like, Jared sent me some of the new songs, and he said the exact same thing, and I'm like, interesting. What an interesting combo. I was like, why made you think of those two bands? And he was just like, well, it's got like
By
this
the
pop punk
time-
kind of thing, and it's got this kind of like rock thing going on. And I was like a Chevelle type thing, and he's like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. And I was just like,
Chevelle is what happens when pop punk meets rock.
I guess.
Really?
I don't know, man. He was feeling himself that night, but yeah, it was great. Shout outs to Fuego Dave.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, a month from now, the song won't be out, but it'll probably be close to being out.
Mm.
We're very quick on the turnaround. We're not people.
Yeah.
I don't like to hoard music. I like to record it and then get it out, especially if I'm excited about something. Anyway,
We're gonna do a reaction on the podcast of Jared's song. We're just gonna make Jared
we
sing it.
will. We will. Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah,
be like,
the
wow,
moment-
these vocals. Oh,
I hope you guys should. It'd be the funniest thing ever if Derril was just like after the he's like, buddy, just didn't do it for me.
No.
I would love.
I just wasn't
that.
really feeling
Never.
it tonight. You know.
That's what it just.
Did you have an off day in the vocal booth?
Yeah, did you? Yeah, you were on day 12 of your upper respiratory infection. I could tell.
Yeah.
No,
And, he was like, and then he was like, actually wasn't sick. Oh man, I thought for sure you're sick. Damn. Okay.
you sound like Jake Lurs recording the first version of Leveler.
Absolutely not.
Don't say that.
Jake was sick. No, he was sick the first time. The first time they did that album, he had a
yeah,
cold. He
that's
admitted
true.
it.
That's true.
Now I gotta go listen to that.
But he so it's like it's interesting to hear it. But then like when they did the re-release a
Redux,
couple
yeah.
years ago, and it was like, oh yeah, he was sick. But it's like, but he has a little different take on the new stuff, which I think is pretty cool.
Oh well, then I feel like we should talk real quick. Is there any albums that you wish were like re-released now? Like, you know how like August Burns Red does like Constellations. They did Leveler, and then I think they also just did Rescue.
Like a re-release of like vinyl
Like
No, 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 no.
like
Like a
or a
reimagine or
remaster.
remaster, whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
like one that you feel like the production, you know, it's a little dated.
yeah. Well, I mean, so there's several from like 2004 to 2008 that were great albums that just need like a full reproduce. Like get the dry stems if you can, and somebody redo it. Actually, Jamie King, who has produced like Between the Buried and Me uh
Yeah.
and The Contortionist, um, he has actually been doing a bunch of the old albums, like getting in touch with the bands like that he did from like 2000 on to, well,
Ooh.
he's still producing music, but he's like, hey, throw me a few hundred bones and I'll remaster this, so that it, because he was part of the like he was living in the Loud Wars, and everybody fell victim to it a little bit, even him. And he's not a, I don't think he's a very aggressive, uh, you know, pushing the limits kind of like volume wise. I've always liked him because he's kind of has like a finesse to the overall master of his music. Um, but so there's a bunch of stuff, and then in turn, like I'm seeing like these little pop-ups around like the North and South Carolina, or upstate South Carolina more specifically, bands from that era that are like, hey, we're gonna put out a record or an EP or something. There's a lot of bands actually doing that nationally right now too.
That didn't answer
Um,
my
m-
question.
What
Kind
what
of.
was your
mine's
question?
mine's 2 words, and I don't even need to give it any context. You guys, everybody who ever listened to music will get it. Saint Anger.
Oh, trash.
That's it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah,
Factual.
that's a good one. That's a good point.
Well,
Hmm.
because
But
like
anyways,
so yeah, because dude, so many of the album, like what you're talking about, like my answer was going to be The Night God Slept, but then they did it, right?
Yeah, they
So
did
like
do it. That's
Silent
true.
Planet,
Yeah.
they did it, and because that was the first, I'm like, it's just missing a little bit, but then they did it, and I love that. But like for me, part of the way that those older albums sound is part of their charm for me. Like if I grew up listening to it, it's almost got a nostalgia factor for me, right?
Sure.
Like
Sure. Sure.
translating the name. I find it hard to believe that 20 years old now, could it really be redone any better than it was when they captured the
Yeah.
magic that Anthony had 20 years ago in the studio as a kid? Like maybe the guitars would sound better, but like, dude, it is what it is because it's that for me.
Yeah. I'm
Anyway,
well, and some things have to stay. Like you can't, like, to me, like like fully reamping something that is that memorable. Like you'd catch flack for that for sure.
yep.
And honestly, maybe that's why you shouldn't touch Saint Anger.
No,
What
Saint
what
Anger's
Hmm.
happens when the
it's
snare sounds
unlistenable.
incredible?
It's unlistenable. There was a guy
God.
on TikTok who does a series of what Saint Anger would sound like if they just did it right, and it'd make me want to break my monitor. It was so good.
I never even like bothered to look and see if they had a reasoning behind that choice.
Yeah, Lars
Lars
basic
chose
I
it.
don't know about the reason. Lars was basically like, if you take a snare drum, that little thing at the bottom, that's called the snare. But if you just loosen that and there's no snare, that's how you get the drum sound for Saint Anger. We did it the whole album. I'm like, why? You didn't answer the question of why you made that choice. I think we were just on drugs. No, he didn't say that, but he probably was. Um, anyway,
I don't know if
I
I
There's a
have.
digress.
possibility.
I feel like if anything, I would love to hear. I don't know. That's kind of tough. I feel like I love the first 30 Seconds to Mars album, so I feel like that would be kind of interesting to be redone. In
The
an,
Kill?
yeah,
Is
the
that the first
Kill.
one?
Yeah.
They didn't release them. They didn't release one before that. They just released a new song which sounded ridiculously similar to the new Blink album.
Mm. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was the Kill. Let me just double
Who
check.
did?
30 Seconds to
30
Mars.
seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
saw
think it
that. I
was.
haven't
Oh,
listened to it
it's a
though.
beautiful
No,
war.
Beautiful
A
Life.
beautiful
Sorry.
A Beautiful Lie. Their first album was their self-titled O2. 30
Yes, A
Seconds to
Beautiful
Mars.
Lie. That's what I meant. Sorry. That would
I
probably
said A
be the
Beautiful
one.
War. I was
I would
reading
love to.
This Is War.
This is War.
And
Yeah,
then A
the
Beautiful
album after that, which is I think is a great follow-up record too. So, but I don't know. I think that would be really cool to hear how they sound now, even though I don't know. I think Jared still plays a lot of that stuff live. So, I mean, yeah, those are OG
when he's not
albums.
acting. Yeah.
When he's not acting, you're right.
Very
So,
good actor. Usually not the case, but very good actor.
I think he's a good singer too. I like his singing voice.
Yeah, he's great. He's great at both. I'm just saying it doesn't usually go that way. Like
I
when
understand that
Sumerian
he's a
made their-
weirdo though.
We'll define
Yeah.
weirdo. We're
We're
weird.
Like a-
weirdos. Yeah,
I don't like just
more of a weirdo.
Like, yeah.
Okay,
like
that's fair.
like I what
Like
yeah,
if there's a
like
scale
I
of
understand
weirdo,
I'm a
you're saying-
weirdo.
So you're
Yeah,
saying
just
he's
that
like
he's
fully
like a
blown out.
like just a weird person to be around or something.
Yeah, that makes
Like
sense.
there's
I don't
the
know.
weirdo.
I don't
He
know.
is an
like,
artist.
weirdo-
You know, so
Well, there's like such a wide spectrum. There's like the weirdos that just like sit by themselves on the bus, and then there's the weirdos that are like on sex offender registries. So it's like
that's true.
No,
yeah.
I think it's the on the bus thing.
I
I'm
will.
glad you didn't say it was a combination of both. That would have made me sad.
I will
could
say
be completely wrong.
I will say about Jared's Jared this was the reason why I brought it up. But I'm pretty sure Jared sent me this one link of a guy who has redone like all like he did like the era albums like in AI or whatever.
Oh, me? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you.
I thought you
Not
were
Jared
talking about
Leto.
Leto.
I mean, I
I was
wish
like, you know Leto? Oh,
yeah, I
fuck.
know. Yeah, I
We
know
just made
Jared
it.
Leto, man. Hell yeah. Let's go. No.
Dude, yeah, that's wild, right?
Yeah, it was great.
There's a guy using AI to replicate older metal albums, Derril, but with a modern sound. And he did
Okay.
Augment.
he's done a couple of really good ones. He did Augment. God, I forgot about that guy. We're
You're
gonna
welcome.
he did a couple of the artists that you talked about, Derril. So I'll send you some of the older stuff and get your thoughts on what you think.
Yeah, they're pretty
I mean,
sick.
well, anyways, where was I? Oh, The Chariot is one of the albums that he did.
Oh, I love
That
the
got
cherry.
like a rebuff, and I
Oh,
mean, it's
nice.
still. I don't think he had all like original stems of everything like down to a T maybe or something because it sounds insanely better, but you can tell it's like the same tracks and
Still,
everything.
yeah,
It's
still
not like
bones.
The
Still
it's
band
not
stands.
like
The
a
Chariot?
Yeah, the
there.
cherry.
I mean, are there what bands have done like a retrack of a record?
Other than August Burns Red, Silent Planet,
Silverstein,
Silverstein.
August
Yeah.
Burns Red, Silent Planet. It's becoming more popular now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any others.
I mean, if I could, I would go back and redo. Like, I would fully reimagine the first Ansible record. Like
Fair
clean
enough.
it,
First
like clean it
For
up
Today
a
record
good bit.
should be redone.
Throwing in AI.
Sing a lot more on it.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody has any band that's been around long enough. You have that album and you're like, God, there's so many things I want to redo on this.
Just do it, Daryl.
Yeah,
You got time.
I want to redo the first AO
I don't.
album and just not release it.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Let's go.
Anyway,
It's out
guys,
of control. I got to start wearing a hat on this thing again.
That's true.
Come-
we do wear hats a lot here.
Well,
I
when
do.
when you got the big cup headphones, your hair just does whatever.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who doesn't have over ears. I just do one AirPod. But
Nice.
Anyway,
Is this where we're ending it?
thank you guys for so much for tuning into
I think
episode
so.
7. I think we're an hour and 20 in. I think it's naturally time.
Yeah.
Next episode we have Daryl's going to be hosting. We have his friend's band Current Comfort on the show.
Woo!
Everybody salutes
Comfort.
to
Let's
Rafe
go.
from Current Comfort. That will be out mid-December. So
Yeah.
everybody, thank you for tuning in, and we will catch all of you fine guys, gals, and everyone in between later.
Oh, I should also
Peace,
mention
everyone.
I should also mention that I'll be having
Oh, in
the
my fucking face.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I should also
I
mention
should also
that.
mention.
Yeah, you're welcome. I should also mention that we are going to have Jared and Derril on to do albums of the year for the end of the year because this may be, well, other than Rafe, I think this might be our last episode for the season, right?
Last episode is episode 9. Comes out
Oh, so we got 2 more.
day after Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be in hibernation mode for a little bit, but we'll be back. So keep posted. But if you want to see us live, come hang out there. We'll be talking about our favorite albums of the year and stuff. This will be out in like December, right? No, November.
You have the calendar.
I don't
bro.
fucking know, man. Anyway, just come hang out with us.
I'm pretty sure this is November. We're so good at this, guys.
We are great. We're so good at this shit.
We have a podcast.
We do
I like
stuff. We talk. It's fun.
All right, now it's time to end it.
Okay.
Brandon, take us home.
All right. See you guys later.
Good night.